going to pass it on to our contacts at the FBI. It's very obvious that people know it. Like I said, the CID has been telling everybody. In fact, we talked to Jeremy, who's sitting over there, my producer, me, him, and my attorney, Tim Parlatori. We're up till about 10:30 last night talking to.
Guys, don't make me block people. Trolls, stay out. Okay. I'm quick with my block button. So your mama's gotta go. Gotta go.
The chief of staff, the Army chief of staff's POA took a major interest in this as well. And you know, one of the things that he said, I'll wait till later to bring that up. But I don't know. I don't trust any of these people. I mean, public affairs officers are there to.
I'll keep my mouth.
Yeah, create.
Block it like it's hot. There you go.
PO is there to protect the command.
Yeah,
100%, nothing else.
Yeah,
they're not there to shed transparency on anything. They are there to protect the command.
Let's recreate what the story is. But, and you know what's interesting? Fuck it, I'm just gonna say it. You know what he said? He goes on the call. He said, "I didn't talk to him. I didn't want to talk to him." But so add them talk to him. He said, between me and you guys, this guy's DNA didn't match his son, and made it sound like it's some big secret. Then at 9:34 p.m., I think it was 9:34 p.m. The New York Post had a headline that said that this guy's. So they're trying to make it sound like this guy did this because maybe he found out the son wasn't his, but.
Everybody tries to turn everything into some type of big conspiracy when sometimes it's just a nutcase. Okay. People go crazy. They having, they think something's happening that's not, like he believes these are Chinese drones coming up out of a sub. And he could be right, but I don't think it's Chinese drones. If it was Chinese drones, we would have shot those down. Okay. And we didn't. So that tells me right there, what we were seeing in our skies was something put up there by the U.S. government, not by the Chinese government. Okay. We remember how fast the Chinese spy balloon got shot down, right? They flew right up there, shot that damn thing down, then got it up out the water. They would have done that with these drones, right? And the reason they didn't, they were telling people not to fire on the drones, not to mess with the drones, is because they were U.S. military drones. Some people believe they were sniffer drones. But this guy thinks it's China, and China was going to attack, and he wants people to read his manifesto, so he goes boom, which to me just sounds like somebody that's crazy. Lots of servicemen's DNA don't match their kids, sadly. There you go. Hey guys, I mean, when the boat's away, the women will play, right? That's terrible.
There's a lot more to this story, as you'll find out. So
yeah.
So let's go to you, Sam. Tell me how you got the email.
All right. So for context, I've run this account for the last 4.5 years. There have been people in and out writing articles and different stuff and just investigations, some big, some small, just trying to keep accountability in the military, but developed a robust network within the military, all branches, and people feed into this and send me messages and here and there.
I mean, see, I'm not a super big conspiracy person. Do I trust the government? I don't trust them on all aspects of things, but I don't think the government's out to get me personally, right? The government only messes with you when you have a voice, right? When your voice gets so powerful, then they mess with you. But if you're just a little nobody on YouTube like me, I don't think I have to worry about the U.S. government. Okay. I think they go after bigger fish or people that have a more powerful voice. That's why you don't want to have a real big voice in this world because then people usually get assassinated. Think about history. Everybody that had a big, strong voice that could pull the masses together was executed. Okay. Assassinated. And that's why I'm glad that, hey, my voice, I'm just a little YouTube nobody. So the government can leave me alive. Okay. They had no reason to kill me. I'm an idiot.
Nothing ever like this has ever come in. But I get a, well, it started off as comments. So when you have a big Instagram account, you're going to miss a lot of messages because people message and it'll go to hidden messages and everything else. You miss a lot.
I get that a lot. Like I got that a lot in the Sebastian Rogers cases. People were leaving me clues, but since we wasn't friends on Facebook, it goes to your hidden messages, right? Like your people you may know messages instead of going into your inbox. And you know, that's why you got to sub up some, like add somebody, then send them a message so it goes to their inbox, because I miss a lot of messages that same exact way. Or I get so much spam in my email that I'll miss important emails because people spam the shit out of my email.
A lot of stuff. Well, I kept seeing this comment on recent posts that I put in there, and it was from this burner account that said, "Hey, check your DMs, check your DMs, check your DMs." So I go in there and try to find it. There's no message from this guy, hadn't come through or whatever. And then he messages again once that message was opened up. And I said, "Hey, your previous messages haven't come through. What do you want to tell me?" And he said, "What I'm going to send you," now these are literally his words, "What I'm going to send you is going to change the course of humanity."
Oh Lord, the course of humanity. This better be epic.
That was his phrase, change the course of humanity. Okay, a little bit dramatic. I get these messages all the time. People have this big story they want to tell. They want to expose their command, whatever. I take everything with a grain of salt until I have evidence and proof. So this guy is insistent. He tells me that he is a 18 Zulu who I've spoken to before, and he really needs to get this stuff to me. And then he talks about you. He says, "I need you to get me in contact with Sean Ryan." I'm like, dude, I don't know Sean Ryan. I'm not that big, but he's insistent that I get him diverted to media sources, says go to Fox News, whatever else. And I said, "All right, tell me what you got." So I give him my Proton email account, give him my signal number. And he reaches out immediately. And I'm going to read this initial message for you because this doesn't have names or anything else on it, but this was his message on Sunday. He reached out and said,
the bad thing about that is when people reach out, you never know if they're telling the truth or they're making things up, because, you know, I get that a lot here in missing kids cases. People that leave a clue and then they'll be like, "Well, I heard that from a psychic," or "I had that in a dream." And you're thinking, man, you know, I got to read these 50 paragraphs of somebody that had a weird dream, or somebody, you know, and I'm not really big on psychics, but you have to weed through all this. It's serious, Dolly. It's not a joke. I'm not saying it's a joke. I'm just saying that I believe this guy in that truck had some mental health problems, and that, you know, it ain't some big conspiracy. Now, I know a lot of people turn everything into conspiracy. I'm just not one of those people. Now, PJ, she's more of a conspiracy person, you know, damn, you know, their chemtrails and solar flares, and you know, that just, I don't worry about those types of things.
Like I said, this last Sunday, he said, "Sending with a VPN active on Wi-Fi only. Do not message me. I will send out updates via both Signal and email, but trust me, you're going to want to be involved." Well, first of all, no, I didn't want to be involved. Anyways, and then, so I didn't message. I responded back to his original Instagram message, and I said, "Hey, I got your message on Proton Mail." And he said, "Cool, delete this." So I deleted it. That's how I ended up getting this message on Tuesday. So the message that this right here, this manifesto, if you want to call it that, came in on.
Dumpling must be getting pretty popular on the internet. You starting to get some trolls, Dumpling. That's when you know you're getting popular. When the trolls come after you, that's when you know that people know who you are on the internet. Okay.
Tuesday. And when I started reading this, my initial take was, okay, this is off the deep end. It's bonkers. I can't validate or verify any of the stuff in this manifesto.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him that in a subsequent email. And I'll read that to you later, my response to him. And once again, my response to him elicited, "Hey, get me in contact with Sean Ryan, Fox News," and he even said Pete Hegseth. "Get me in contact with Hegseth." And I'm like, dude, I don't have the incoming Secretary of Defense's phone number. Sorry, bro. That's the last time I talked to him.
This is a dude that runs an Instagram account. You know what I'm saying? How is he supposed to know all these people and have all these connections? Well, he got on this one dude's show. So I guess, you know, you tell a crazy enough story, they they'll let you on.
So yesterday morning,
What date was that?
that was Tuesday. That was this Tuesday. So we're Friday now. That was 3 days ago.
So
The day before.
30th,
Yeah, the day before the attack. I dismissed this stuff out of hand.
the 31st. It was on the 31st.
Yes. In fact, I posted something on my I told your producer about this as well. But this was a post I made on Twitter. I was just trying to be humorous, off the cuff. It was I didn't mean anything about it. I was just being humorous for my audience. I said, my inbox was especially eventful today. Allegations of war crimes, government anti-gravity technology, and fears about being tracked and watched by the feds. It's always, the world is ending and I have this information that needs to get to the media, and never, how you doing, brother? Everything all right? I was just playing off of a meme.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah, but that don't really tell us that attack was coming. Okay. There's people that put up these posts every day, these conspiracy people that think the world's ending. You know, listen, I done survived the world ending a bunch of times. Y2K, the Mayan calendar, all these different events. So, you know, there's people like this that believe this stuff is coming every day. So to be like, well, I predicted something or I knew something was coming, when in actuality, you just made a vague post that could, you know, just, it is what it is. People think the government are watching them every day, and you didn't say, hey, there's a attack coming. So to me, it didn't mean shit.
it was just supposed to be a joke. That was the body of his email that he sent me. And I didn't think anything about it. I didn't know who Matt Berg was, Matt Livelsberg, or anything else. He told me who he was in the email. He pointed me to his LinkedIn account. I didn't know any of this stuff. And I was just kind of being humorous with my audience. Like, I get these crazy messages sometime. And then the day after that message, I wake up and my buddy was like, hey, Sam, nobody in the community seems to know this guy. Do you happen to know who he is? And I played that for you before we came up here. Just absolute shock. That's how I woke up
Do
yesterday.
you want to play it now?
Yeah. Excuse my language. I was definitely in shock. Let me
I
find
will.
this
I
chat.
will.
So,
I'll wait.
You know, while you're digging through that, you know what we should do? I should get that Instagram account from you to see if they messaged any of our Instagram accounts. And we should also get that
I
email
don't have
address.
it. I deleted it.
You deleted it.
He told me to delete it, and I deleted it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We should also
Now, how believable does that sound? Okay. He told me to delete it, so I deleted it. I don't know. That sounds a little sketchy to me.
get that email address and see if they sent it into the sent it in through the website, and see if he tried to contact us. Get that to the FBI.
So I'm in a
Hopefully
military.
they actually do something.
Yeah, I'm in a military group chat. Buddy Green Beret, Corey, he says, at Sam. Nope, nobody I've asked in the community knows him. You is at 8:46 a.m. yesterday. So I woke up and I said, OF, I'm shaking. This guy emailed me 2 days ago. I'm not playing. And then he said, damn. And then this was my response to him at 8:48. Like, just woke up.
Dude, I'm fucking shaking, bro. You don't understand. This guy emailed me and told me he was being watched by the FBI and Homeland Security, but they weren't going to do anything to him because he had a VBID. I'm not fucking playing, dude. I have the email. I am shaking, man. This is nuts.
And it goes from there. And I sat there for probably an hour talking to my wife. I'm shaking. I can't even think straight. Like, normal day is shot. And I didn't know what I want to do. Do I sit on this? Do I do nothing with it? I've got to tell somebody. I've got to tell the FBI at least, because this is huge. This is all over the news. And then I was like, well, dude, this guy wanted to get in contact with Sean Ryan. So let me get this to Sean Ryan, see if I can get with him. And I had a buddy who knew your producer, and we went from there. But
Wow. You want to read the email?
Yep. So this email came in on
All right,
December
let's hear it.
31st at 10:42 a.m. That is Tuesday. He said, in case I do not make it to my decision point or onto the Mexico border, I am sending this now. Please do not release this until 1 January and keep my identity private until then. First off, I am not under duress or hostile influence or control. My first car was a 2006 black Ford Mustang V6 for verification. What we have been seeing with drones, he puts that in quotes. He says drones, is the operational use of gravitic propulsion systems powered aircraft by most recently China and the East Coast, but throughout history, the US. Only we in China have this capability. Our OPCEN, that's Operations Center, our OPCEN location for this activity is in the box below. China has been launching them from the Atlantic from submarines for years, but this activity recently has picked up. As of now, it is just a show of force, and they are using it similar to how they used the balloon for SIGINT and ISR, which are also part of the integrated comm system. There are dozens of those balloons in the air at any given time. The so what is because of the speed and stealth of these unmanned aircraft. They are the most dangerous threat to national security that has ever existed. They basically have an unlimited payload capacity and can park it over the White House if they wanted. It's checkmate. U.S.
I don't know, guys.
Government needs to give the history of this, how we are employing it and weaponizing it, how China is employing them and what the way forward is. China is poised to attack anywhere in the East Coast. I've been followed for over a week now from likely Homeland or FBI, and they are looking to move on me and are unlikely going to let me cross into Mexico, but won't because they know I am armed and I have a massive VBID. Let me pause right there for a second. So he says a massive VBID. When I was talking to the FBI yesterday, they didn't know what a VBID was. I had to explain what that acronym meant, literally.
You fucking serious?
Dead serious. I said it twice and he goes, you said that word VBID. Can you tell me what that is? For your audience, a VBID, for your audience who has not been in the GWOT for the last 20 years, a VBID is a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. In layman's terms, a car bomb, what we saw at Trump Tower. So backing up, he says, I am armed and have a massive VBID. I've been trying to maintain a very visible profile and have kept my phone, and they are definitely digitally tracking me. Here's where he gets into the other stuff. And this is.
See, I think this guy was a nut, right? I think he's just a basic nut. And I don't think the government was tracking him because they would have stopped him. The government's not going to let him go hurt 7 people. Okay. They're not going to do that. So I don't think, and I do not think these are drones from China. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. All right. These are U.S. drones. That's the reason they didn't go shoot them down. You don't think, I live near Air Force Base, Langley Air Force Base. They would scramble jets and shoot them bitches down so fast if they wasn't American. They're American. That's why they wouldn't tell us what they were. These are U.S. government drones that we're seeing in the sky. And if not, they would have scrambled jets and they would have shot them down. So, yeah, he may have had some, I wouldn't say massive VBID, okay, because he had some gas cans in the back of a truck. That ain't no Timothy McVeigh, He's making it out to be like, dude, this dude was a whack, right? And listen, sometimes, it happens. Mental health is a serious issue in this country. I'm going to listen to the rest. Moon is Leo. Don't worry. We're going to listen to it. I'm just, I want to give my opinion on it, right? I just want to give my opinion on it that I think it's a whole bunch of horse shit and the dude was just crazy and delusional.
This is where we had to redact the names. Well, your producer redacted the names. I have knowledge of this program and also war crimes that were covered up during airstrikes in Nimruz province, Afghanistan in 2019 by the admin, DOD, DEA, and CIA. I conducted targeting for these strikes of over 125 buildings. 65 were struck because of civcas, that's civilian casualties, that killed hundreds of civilians in a single day. U.S. FORA continued strikes after spotting civilians on initial ISR. It was supposed to take 6 minutes and scramble all aircraft in CENTCOM. The UN basically called these war crimes, but the administration made them disappear. I was part of that cover-up with U.S. FORA and agent redacted of the DEA. So I don't know if my abduction attempt is related to either. I worked with redacted IO staff on this as well as the response to Bala Murghab. Redacted commander at the time, redacted can validate this. You need to elevate this to the media so we avoid a world war because this is a mutually assured destruction situation.
Oh my God.
He says, for vetting, my LinkedIn is Matt Berg or Matthew Livelsberger, an active duty 18 Zulu out of 110, that's 1st Battalion 10th Special Forces Group. My profile is public. I have an active TSSCI with UAP, USAP access.
What is USAP? Do you know what that is?
I don't know what that is. So I checked his credentials on LinkedIn. So that was the first thing I did. I went to his LinkedIn page. First thing I noticed was all of his bona fides were in place. He has all the UAS training from USASOC and everything else. And so I said, okay, at least the guy knows what he's talking about with drones. That was a very rough dig into the guy. But my issue was I couldn't validate or verify any of this information. And I told him that. And how I responded to him was in a subsequent email. I said, this is obviously a very big deal, but I don't have anything to verify this information with.
Yeah, I mean, I believe he was sending them to news stations and big people, but I still believe he was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Okay. Now, why would he do the things he did? It ain't like the government was moving in on him. Was he really trying to get to Mexico? And like I said, I don't believe the drones are Chinese or any of that. Now, did our government possibly do some things they shouldn't have done in Afghanistan? And maybe some innocent, but that's the thing about war. Innocent people die in war, right? That's one of the bad things about being at wars. Innocent people, civilians end up getting caught in the crossfire.
Talking about gravitic propulsion systems without evidence just makes me another UFO talking head. Like I'm not going to go on my social media page and start talking about UFOs and anti-gravity systems and everything. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't. And he said, can I get on Fox News Contact on Signal as well as Sean's show? Hegseth would be good too. That was his last message to me.
Wow.
Well, I believe myself. Now, I ain't a conspiracy theorist, right? I don't consider myself really a conspiracy theorist, but I do know that we have been working on anti-gravity aircrafts, right? If all the top scientists at Lockheed and Boeing, they're all working on anti-gravity. Do we have anything in the sky that's anti-gravity right now? I do not believe these drones that we're seeing in the sky are anti-gravity. Has our government been secretly working on anti-gravity technology? I would say easily, yeah, right? That they most likely are, because that's what the top leading propulsion places are working on. If you listen to their scientists, they're all trying to figure out anti-gravity. So, in the future, we'll see a lot more of these aircrafts that are powered by anti-gravity. And there's the rumors from all the conspiracy people, and I've talked about this a few times, of the Aurora, which was supposed to be the first anti-gravity aircraft, and it can fly around the world in 3 hours. Okay, so, and you got to remember, when the stealth bomber was top secret, people were seeing a flying craft that looked like a V, and they were reporting it as a UFO. Well, the Aurora, some people say it's already in flight, and that people are seeing it and thinking it's a UFO because it can move left and right, up and down, and it can do things that a modern aircraft can't do because it's controlled by anti-gravity. So is that plane out there? I mean, I don't know. One day they could come out and say, well, here, look at our anti-gravity plane, just like they did the stealth bomber. Eventually it wasn't top secret anymore. They started showing it at air shows to show our might of stealth capabilities. So, but I don't believe these drones are anti-gravity. I don't believe these drones are coming out of subs. I don't believe these drones are from China. He didn't have a large AVIB or whatever the hell he called it. He had some gas cans in the back of a Tesla truck. That's totally different, right? This dude was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, in my opinion.
Oh,
yeah.
The thing is, what is a gravitic propulsion system?
To be honest with you, it is a fancy term you're going to find in science fiction. You won't find it in any, as far as I know, you won't find this in any kind of official manual or scientific research. This is all science fiction. So, but what struck me is his use. What strikes me now, not then, but what strikes me.
That's funny you say that. PJ was talking about MK Ultra earlier. She was like, this is something else, some MK Ultra, that these people acted simultaneously, that they could be in some project that, that they flip a switch and all of a sudden you go crazy, right? Now, like I said, she's my conspiracy half. Me, I'm more like, no, these are just mental people that are crazy, and the world is full of them, right? You ever been, the VA, and, when people go into combat, they come back crazy as shit. I've had family members in military that served in wars, and when they come back, they always a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? I remember my brother-in-law came back. He's in his late 60s, and he was talking about I was on a special ops mission, and he was in Afghanistan, and they cut his eyelids off, right? Really, he had eye surgery, but he was just so crazy that he believed that he was pulled into a cave, and they cut his Osama bin Laden's people cut his eyelids off, okay? But in actuality, he just had eye surgery, and they cut his eyelids. But in his mind, he just crazy. Just people are crazy, okay? They say shit that's just, I had another family member that thought aliens were coming to get them, right? That a UFO was up there, the Galactic Federation. It's crazy he says that because now we hear about the Galactic Federation. But he was like, the Galactic Federation is sending signals and that he has to purify by drinking water so he could receive these signals, and that the UFO was going to come get him. Right? He truly believed that a UFO was coming to get him. Mental health, I say this all the time. Mental health is one of the most serious problems we have in this country. And some of these people we need to help. PTSD affects so many from war. Yes. I mean, you see horrific things and it scars you, right? You are a conspiracy theorist too. Stop fooling yourself. Where's PJ to back me up? I mean, there's some things that, I look at and listen, it ain't conspiracy if there's truth involved in it, right? It's when there's no truth and there's no way for me to verify anything that I would say it's a conspiracy to me, But if it's truthful, then it's not a conspiracy to you, right? Like, to me, when something's truthful, it's truthful, right? Like, I do believe there's some credibility in some of the things that people say, right? I just don't believe what this person is putting out there. This dude had some mental health issues. Anybody can do what he did. You got to know that they're a little bit crazy. There's truth in there too, Dolly. Yeah. And sometimes when you mix truth with fantasy, it's the hardest lie to figure out, because there's a little bit of truth to it, and every bullshit story, every good one is told with a little bit of truth. That's just the way it is. And them are the ones that are hardest to figure out, is when you take a little bit of truth and you mix it with a little bit of bullshit, and then you get this crazy story.
Now is his use of a very specific term that nobody else call it. If you asked me, I would say an anti-gravity propulsion system. That's how I would describe it, because I don't know this stuff. He said gravitic propulsion system.
We looked that up last night too, and all we could find was same thing, science fiction type stuff. But there.
PJ must have seen this video earlier too, because she asked me what a gravitic propulsion system was, and I said, anti-gravity, and I was like, I have no clue. It's not something that I've heard of, but anti-gravity is in our future for sure. That's what I mean. So if you start saying, well, anti-gravity, well, we know that their scientists are working on anti-gravity now. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you mix a little bit of crazy with a little bit of truth, it's hard to determine.
There are some things that line up. One is, like I had mentioned, well, let's talk about the guy's story. Obviously, he had a VBID. Obviously, he was in the military and served. And the thing that he was talking about in 2019, we pulled a report. This is from October 9th, 2019. UN report find alleged drug facilities were not lawful target airstrikes caused significant civilian casualties. The United Nations Special Report, which examines the impact on civilians of the United States airstrikes on alleged drug processing facilities on 5 May 2019 in Afghanistan, determines the operation caused a large number of civilian casualties.
Okay, but here's the thing. If you looked it up on the internet and found that information, how do you think he got that information? Right? He looked it up on the internet and seen these things. And in his crazy mind, he started believing that he was a part of it and that it's a cover up and that Chinese has got these anti-gravity drones flying over the country. It's just information coming from a crazy, right? Just like the crazy person in my family, they looked up stuff on aliens and the Galactic Federation. And then they started thinking the Galactic Federation was coming to rescue them on a UFO, right? Like crazy people, when they read things, they twist it in their mind, twists it. And then when it comes out that, you know, they use that. And I believe that's just what this is. This guy, you know, he had access to the internet and he was a conspiracy person. You can tell by his writing that he was a conspiracy person. I don't take him as a whistleblower at all. I take him as somebody that's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Now, I could be wrong, and he could be a whistleblower, and the Chinese are about to get us, right? But I don't think that's the case. And I think he had signs of paranoia, right? That the feds are watching him, the government is watching him. You remember what was the lady that was the serial killer, the prostitute lady? I'm trying to think of her name. And she thought she was hearing voices, and they planted a chip in her head. Warnos, is that her last name? Anybody help me? Anybody in true crime in here, right? But, you know, she believed they were doing voice to head. Warnos, yeah. And, you know, she believed the government was purposely hitting her with these sound waves and shit like that. She was crazy. She was just crazy. And that's all it was, that the government was allowing her to kill John so she could get these bad people off the street because they wanted them off the street. Eileen Warnos. Thank you, guys. It took me a minute. That's what I was thinking. But she believed all kinds of weird paranoia things like this, and that the government knew what she was doing and they were actually helping her, and they wanted her to do these things. They watched her do it, and that's why they didn't stop her. They had many chances to stop her, but they didn't. I mean, it's delusions. It's paranoia. It's all these things. And that's signs of mental illness.
The report also examines the legal framework applicable to this incident. In June 2019, the UN assistance mission in Afghanistan, together with representatives of the Afghanistan Independent Human Rights Commission, conducted a site visit to areas impacted.
She wasn't normal before prison. I have to disagree with that. She was crazy even before then, you know. Okay, hold on. My kid's sending me a picture. Oh, it's a Pugsley, her doggy. All right, let me send her. I gotta send her something back. I'll send her a picture of a donut. All right. Not military. Was not in military. I think she drove herself crazy with her. Yeah, I mean, listen, you lock somebody in a cell long enough, they're going to go crazy. But I believe she was crazy beforehand. And to go out there and start killing people, you got to be a little bit crazy.
By the strikes in Farah Province, Bakwa District,
MT
part of its
4581 is a new member. Welcome
into the 5 May incident. The UN verified 39 civilian casualties, among them 14 children, 1 woman, from multiple airstrikes on more than 60 sites that the United States, Afghanistan identified as drug production facilities in Bakwa District and in parts of neighboring Delaram District of Nimraz Province. Moreover, the UN is working to verify credible reports of at least 37 additional.
Yeah, if you have a smart device, you're being listened to. You know, we learned that from Snowden, that they could turn on your cameras even when your phone was off. They could listen to you, you know, things of that nature. Now, I believe he was a whistleblower, but he didn't go boom. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do these horrific things and try to hurt people because he wasn't crazy. Okay. All right. I just got your message there, Dumpling. It says, you know, the DNA didn't match the son. Either that's not the guy's body in the car and he used somebody else's body, or the son is not his. Okay. He's in the military. Most likely the son's not his. Okay. Well, you know, a lot of times people in the military, let's be honest, they go away for a little while, and, you know, while the cat's away, the mouse will play. And think about how many people in the Navy leave all the time. They come back and they're raising kids that ain't theirs. It happens.
Civilian casualties, the majority of whom were women and children. Although airstrikes on the alleged drug processing facilities had taken place before, this was the first time that UNAMA had received reports of large number of civilian casualties resulting from such an operation. And it goes on. I'm not going to read all this. We'll link the article here.
My kid sent me a picture of her dog. I sent her back a donut. She said, "Why a donut?" I said, "Because I like donuts."
Here, but so that 100% lines up. The other thing, that really struck me is, like I had mentioned, after our phone call, jumped in an interview.
Special.
After the interview, checked my phone, and I
heard about that too. Some weird fog in Florida. PJ tells me all the conspiracy stuff. Like she's all, like she's a conspiracy guru. So where's the donut picture come from? I know it's like, how you got the little emojis. I just sent her back a donut emoji. I could have sent her a thumbs up, but I just figured, hey, why not send a donut? Yeah, I don't know. Just a random thing to send back, right? Just random. She randomly sent me a picture of her dog, right? Cactus. So I randomly sent her back a picture of a donut.
several Green Berets, former Green Berets, one still active. Actually, I'm just going to say it was Tim Kennedy sent me a message late last night about 9 p.m. and said, hey, I should have brought my phone up here, but hey, basically that the USASOC wants to give me more context on what had happened on this guy. And so first I wasn't going to.
Dolly,
this is George down here in Houston.
what's up, George?
Hey, I wanted to tell you something.
I didn't even realize I had the phone lines open.
Well, I was just trying it out.
Oh, okay. All right. What's up, George?
So there was this lady that was from the New York Post that got to walk through this guy's house down here in Houston that had done that
New Orleans attack?
New Orleans thing, right? Okay. Now down here, our regular ABC, NBC, CBS affiliates, channel 13, 2, and 11, and 26, and 39, and whoever else, they can't get near that house. They can't even get near it. But somehow this lady from the New York Post, she got to do a walkthrough through that thing. Did you hear about that?
No, not exactly. But I mean, I can understand it. You know, it ain't what you know, it's who you know in this world.
Well, there's something up to that now, because I mean, we got local affiliates that can't even get near there, and then you got people that are from far away, New York, that get to walk all around in that thing.
Yeah. I mean, they may have sources.
And this was in between the time that they had sent the FBI in there the first time, and then this lady gets to walk through there.
Are you talking about the FBI with the goats and the chickens?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the FBI was out there again today, walking through that thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, she was contaminating the whole area.
Well, that depends if there's anything of value in there. If there's nothing of value in there, what could they, if he didn't have any?
Oh, well, they picked up all kinds of chemicals and bomb-making crap.
We don't say the B word here. Just boom. Just
okay,
boom,
well,
boom.
The boom making
yeah,
liquid stuff, whatever they did.
Now I haven't heard about any of that stuff being taken out to home, so I don't know exactly.
Oh yeah. They confiscated all kinds of stuff out of there.
Okay. Well, I do know he was making devices, but he didn't get a chance to set them off because he got terminated too quickly.
No, I know, but I mean, this is local. I'm just telling you what my local news is telling me. My local news is telling me that they're not allowed near the place. They're not allowed. I mean, all they can do is barely show a picture through the damn door that we got, knocked down. But this other lady from New York, from the New York Post, she goes in there and she's doing a whole walk around.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the New York Post has some connections.
Yeah. What connection is that?
Apparently connections to the U.S. government and the FBI.
Apparently.
So she knows somebody, she pulled
She knows somebody.
Yeah. She knows somebody more than we do.
Well, she knows somebody more than my Channel 13 local news down here knows.
Yeah, but you got to remember, the New York Post is a lot bigger than the local news 13.
Yeah, but I mean, this is my local people, and we're in Houston. This is Houston.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm in Houston. These are Houston news reporters.
Yeah, well,
and they're not allowed. They're not allowed to have access to what somebody from 2,000 miles away is supposed to have.
Yeah. I mean, I still find all of it strange, the timing of all of it, and both being electric vehicles, both rented from the same place, people being at the same base. I mean, there's a lot of coincidences and some of this stuff that's going on for none of this to be connected. Maybe they don't want to scare the public, into thinking there may be somebody else. But in the beginning, seemed like they were looking for more people. Now they're saying there ain't no more people, and this has anything to do with terrorists. It's just crazy people.
Well, what if this terrorism that we're thinking is terrorism is really an anti-Zionist movement?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I just think it's crazies. I think
it could be just a conglomeration of an anti-Zionist movement, because I think people are getting tired of this Zionism stuff.
I just think that we got a lot of mental health problems in this country, and some of these people are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and they're not getting the help that they need. And then, I mean, if you want to hurt other people or hurt yourself, something's mentally wrong with you. People need to reach out for help.
Yeah.
So, but hey, look, I appreciate you calling in, George.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, peace.
Peace.
I didn't even realize the phones were open. So he snuck that one in. Okay. He snuck that one in. Yeah. I mean, I know there's a lot of people out here that, think the government's out to get you, that everything's a big conspiracy. It's not being cuckoo. It's being, radicalized. I mean, I don't know. I think so too, because of, why would he have had that flag on the truck? And, did he want somebody for them to blame? Like, was he trying to stir things up there in New Orleans, or was this the actions of a person that had mental health issue problems too and was going through some things in life? We know his businesses were failing, his marriages failing, he couldn't pay his rent, and that's enough sometimes to make people that don't have mental health problems snap. But I believe the shocking truth behind all this is there's some mental health issues that are being overlooked, especially in people in the military. Okay. Sometimes being in the military will put that type of PTSD on you from seeing war and being involved in these type of activities. And I believe that, once these people get out in the military, they're not getting the help that they need. And boom, liquid stuff. Yeah. I don't think they're getting that help. And then when they do something horrible, right, then it's too late to help them then. You know what I'm saying? We gotta take care of our military. It puts a big toll on your mind and your body. Just imagine if you go to war and you watching all these people die. You got to remember, that's the bad thing about war, is innocent people die, right? Civilians die. We know in the bombings of these places in Afghanistan and Iraq, that everybody that killed wasn't military. A lot of these, we've seen pictures of kids and things. It's horrific what goes. That's why war is so bad, right? Like, so for this guy to know that, well, civilians were killed, I know that, and I ain't even in the military. Okay, I watch the news. I see these little kids in the hospital, and you know, a lot of people say it's propaganda and stuff like that, but I see it. You know, and we see this. We see it on the news. They don't try to show it to us much, right? But they do show it, especially if you watch different news sources. But we see these innocent people dying. We see it all the time. We're seeing it right now in damn Ukraine. We see it in, like I said, in Iraq, Afghanistan, and all these countries where bombs are dropping. When you drop a bomb, it don't discriminate who it kills. It's killing anybody around it. So I just believe that he was reaching. He took a little bit of stuff that's truthful. We're dropping bombs in Afghanistan. We all know that, right? People are dying over there. We know that. And he used that. But then he started going into Chinese drones and damn anti-gravity stuff and stuff like that. I don't really buy that myself. Now, if he's right and I'm wrong, but I don't see China attacking us by drones anytime soon. Okay, that's just my opinion on that. You are defending yourself. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, Dolly Mods chat. Hey, Chinese drones or American drones are contracted by the same company. If there would have been Chinese drones or drones from any other country, we would have been up there shooting them drones down like galactic invaders, right? Centipede. Remember the Centipede game with the ball? You hit them. We would have been shooting them down like that, and we wasn't. The government was like, "Oh, we don't know what they are." Of course, they weren't even looking because they knew what they were. They had it. They knew, and it's just, you know, it's on a need to know basis. You don't need to know, so we ain't going to tell you. That's how the government operates. But I'm pretty confident that there wasn't Chinese drones flying over our country, and we're going to get invaded by Chinese drones. All right. Plus, if you know anything about China, they don't make shit worth a damn. They would have been crashing everywhere, right? We did hear about a couple crashes though, but they'd have been crashing everywhere. You ever got something made from China? Anybody? That shit lasts like a week. All right. It breaks. It's made cheap as hell. You know, it's never nothing good. Name something good made in China. The iPhone, maybe. That's the best thing ever come out of China. I don't even know if it came from China. Taiwan. So the government always knows. Yeah, so that's how I know it wasn't Chinese. Them bitches would have been crashing in the houses, burning houses down, and all kinds of stuff. That's true, Dolly. See, that, you know, it got to make sense to me, right? It don't make sense. China don't make shit worth a damn, you know. So could their drones even fly? But then again, I was watching a show on China the other day, and they were showing like the maglev trains and some of the technology that they're coming out with, flying cars and stuff like that. That was pretty dope. I wouldn't trust it though, because it's made in China. All right, just me myself, because everything I ever got from China broke in like it looked cool, and then in a week later it was broke. You use condoms made in China, now you have 3 kids. See what I mean? See what I mean? So listen, guys, I mean, don't let people scare you. And that's what a lot of these conspiracies do. World War Temu. Yeah, right? A Temu war. Okay? Think about the stuff you get from Temu. It's not the best. All right? So Chinese food is good. Okay? I watched that video too. Oh my God, laugh my ass off. I'm just saying. So don't get too scared that War of the Worlds is coming and they're going to use drones to do it with. Now, can they be used as weapons? Yes, they can be used as weapons. Like everything can be used as a weapon. Matter of fact, in New Orleans, the guy used a truck as a weapon. So, I mean, anything can be turned into a weapon. Oh my God, I love Temu. I'm just saying, Temu don't sell the best made products. Dolly, all your drones are made in China. Well, I mean, my drones work, you know, but they ain't anti-gravity. Okay, they ain't got no anti-gravity ones. So the girls are sweet in China. I mean, I don't know. I've never been to China. Shop like a billionaire. EV truck, yeah. I am just going off by what I have seen and experienced. Yeah, like I said, everything I usually get from China breaks in a week, and I'm not too worried about it. You know, we are a nuclear power. If China was to attack America, we have the capabilities of defending ourselves. So to be scared of another country, it don't fear me, right? Because if it came to that, two superpowers get into a big fight anyway, it's going to be the end of the world, right? This world will be destroyed. And I don't think nobody really wants to die. I don't think Chinese people, like, they seem pretty pleasant, right? They don't want to die. Americans, we don't want to die, right? So why would we do that to each other? We wouldn't, you know. So I don't worry about those things. That's just, so many people think doomsday is coming, and we have all these preppers and things like that, or trying to be ready for everything. But I've been hearing this stuff since I was a little kid. All right. Then all the way back to the Cold War. So I just don't worry about it anymore. Like, when people say the world's ending, I'm just like, at this point, I'm at an age where I'm like, good, let it end. Okay. It ain't going to matter anyway, because we're all going together. So I'm not too concerned about all these doomsday prophecies, and, let's stand on the beach and watch it all burn. I don't, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter, right? Like, if it comes, it comes. Why worry yourself about something you don't know for sure is going to happen, right? And these people that need mental health, we need to do better in our country, or help in our military. It shows you right there, after years of serving, it does something to your brain. I enjoy every day, brother. I enjoy every day too. But, I'm not going to be scared that the world is going to end every time I walk out my house, or start getting life straws and drinking out of a mud puddle, build a bunker in my backyard. I think we're past that. Okay. People want you to think all these things are going to happen, but has it happened yet? Okay. It ain't happened 50 years of me being alive. I don't think it's going to last. It's going to happen in the next 20 or 30 that I got remaining, hopefully, God willing. I fear for animals in China. Only the bats and the wombats. I don't know. I worry about my grandbabies in the world. We are leaving them. Yes, that's a different story. What shape is this planet going to be in for our grandkids and things like that? That's a whole different story, So hopefully the next generation does better than we do, and so on and so on and so on. Plus, technology is getting better. Maybe they'll figure out a way to clean up the world a little bit, and all the pollution and trash we have left on this planet. Is Rapper in here? Do we got somebody trolling? I draw the line at mud puddles. Okay. Faith over fear is my tattoo. That's what it should be, right? I got faith that everything's going to be okay, right? Everything's going to work itself out. Police have PTSD, military have PTSD, correctional officers have PTSD, doctors and nurses have PTSD. Yeah, I mean, the world is crazy. You're such a downer, Dolly. No, I'm not a downer. I think everything's going to be okay. I think everything's going to be all right. Tomorrow's going to be another day, and the day after that's going to be another day. If you're waiting for aliens to come get you, or for the world to blow up, you're going to be waiting a little while. Okay. I'm just letting you know, be patient. What about the people killed in Vietnam? I mean, yeah, that's the bad thing about wars. People die. That's why we don't want war. Okay. Nobody wants war because innocent people end up dying. And that is a horrible thing. Another crime, nothing to see. Be patient. Yes. Yes. Be patient. The mothership will come to the inauguration. There ain't no mother, the Galactic Federation, right? And then I'm going to look dumb and be like, I thought my family member was crazy all the time. He said aliens were coming to get him. But no, I don't think we're going to have to worry about that one either. There is some strange things going on. I do believe there's aliens out there. Aliens going to land on this boring ass planet? I don't know. There's probably cooler planets out there to land on. So I'm not too worried about the mothership or any ship for that matter. If Dolly said it's going to be okay, we will be okay. And Dolly we trust. LOL. Yeah, don't worry, guys. But here's the thing is there's a lot of crazy people out here. This is the truth, right? There's a lot of crazies. There's a lot of people with mental health problems. So you got to be alert, especially anytime you're in large groups. All right. Anytime you're in large group, that is what these monsters look for when they want to hurt people, is large groups of people. Right? Think about, after that whole Batman incident, people stopped going to the movies. They're like, I ain't getting trapped up in a movie. But then fear wins. Okay? These people, they want you to be scared. They want you to be scared to do things. That's how they win. But you can't be scared. You have to keep an eye open and be alert and be aware of your surroundings at all times. But don't stop living, right? Because that's what they want people to do, is to be scared and stop doing this and stop doing that. Dolly been hit with the 3DS, the dirty Diddy. No, I ain't been hit with the dirty Diddy. I didn't go to none of the Diddy parties, right? I ain't that cool. Thank God. All right. I don't know if I would want the baby oil treatment. So, plus, I don't really like baby oil. So I skipped the Diddy party. Sometimes it's good in life not to be cool. Okay. P. Diddy parties, prime example. That's one invitation I'm glad I didn't get. I sleep better at night knowing I didn't go. My mom is canceling her vacation with her friends. That's not like her. Just like, I say don't let it win, but you got to be careful when you're in large groups of people. Like I said, the DC thing, I was like, okay, I would probably go to DC, but you never know with all those people, it could be crazy and something bad happen. And I just don't want to be caught up in it. Are you going to? Okay, yeah, Duffel. I didn't know you didn't have a wrench. Let me see if I can pull it up. Give me a second. Moderator. Standard moderator. You should have a wrench now. Anybody acts crazy now, she can slice and dice you. But I'm going to get ready to get out of here, guys. Just notice that the real truth behind what is going on is mental health problems, is what I truly believe. Get the people the help they need in this world. Make mental health places free and let people get the mental health they need. Because I believe that's one of the biggest crises in our country is mental health. There's so many crazy people everywhere that they don't, either they don't have insurance or they don't have the proper treatment. But if we made it where people could get the mental help they wanted, if you're going to charge $800 for an IV, at least let somebody go to the brain doctor for free. Okay. The shrink should, have free health care as far as at least your mental health. If you need a kidney, okay, charge people $1 million, but you need a little bit of shrinking on your brain. Let them people get that, because if you don't, you see the type of things that happen. People run over people go boom, and the ugliest trucks on the planet. He could at least pick the better truck. Let's be honest. Okay, that truck was hideous. They should take all them trucks somewhere and get rid of them. Okay, I think he did somebody a favor, whoever owned that truck. not looking, because when I see them, the first thing I think is, man, that is the silliest looking truck I've ever seen in my whole life. It's all about money, money, money. Yeah, I know. And people's brains are deteriorating, and they're not getting the help they need, and they're snapping, and they're going crazy, and people are getting, innocent people are getting hurt. But all right, guys, I'm going to be here for a panel tomorrow. So I will see you guys. Any of y'all want to come up and join me on panel tomorrow? Make sure you just let me know, and I'll send you guys a link to get in. But we're going to do an open panel tomorrow on true crime, open discussion about, you know, all this crazy stuff that's going on in the world. And I need to catch me some sleep. So I will see you guys then. Be good, stay safe. And remember, if nobody else loves you, Dolly does. Peace.